Today on Sports Central, I'll be giving you guys my updated college football playoff predictions for Week 6 of this 2021 college football season. And looking back at Week 5, once again, another very upset-filled week of college football. We saw several surprising outcomes, some big upsets as well. And so today I'll be giving you guys my updated college football playoff predictions, as we always do every week from here on out for Week 6. So that being said, this college football season has been one of the most unpredictable that I can remember in recent history, which, of course, that makes it all the more better just because we might see a couple of new teams in the college football playoff. But with that said, I'll be giving you guys my updated predictions. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'll be giving you guys my 1 through 6 as we always do. Number 1 is the same from last week. It's going to be Georgia, and the main reason for that is I expect Alabama and Georgia to get to the SEC championship game, and I think Georgia is going to pull it out in the end. Alabama will probably be the favorite to win that game, but I think Georgia pulls it out. I see more potential in this Georgia team right now. They're a bit more experienced than Alabama, and I think that's going to help them in the end. So the Bulldogs will be the number 1 overall seed when we get to the college football playoffs. So Alabama, once again, I expect Alabama to win the SEC West. Georgia wins the SEC East. I really don't see any other team winning the SEC East, especially. Florida, they were a contender for a little while, but they just took a big upset against Kentucky last week. So Georgia, for me, is the clear favorite to win the SEC East. I really can't imagine any other team winning that. But for Alabama, you got Arkansas, Ole Miss. You got a couple of teams. Auburn is in discussion. But, I think Alabama is the clear favorite for me to win the SEC West as well. I don't see anything insane happening, especially with Ole Miss and Arkansas both losing this past weekend. If Ole Miss or Arkansas were to beat Alabama or Georgia, we'd see a different situation right now, but I just think Alabama is the clear favorite for me to win that SEC West. But I do expect, unless Georgia or Alabama takes a loss or two sometime in the regular season, I would be very surprised if Alabama or Georgia were to miss the playoffs. So I do think both teams will get in the end, especially if both teams are 1-2 heading into the college football playoff. But in this case, I've got Alabama at number 3, so I don't really see any other team or conference champion beating out Alabama for a position. But Penn State, I've got them as the Big Ten champion, and they're going to be number 2. I think I had them at number 3 last week, but I expect it to be Penn State and Iowa in the Big Ten championship game, and Penn State pulls it out in the end. And really, whichever team wins that Big Ten championship game should be number 2. So if Ohio State or Michigan State or say Michigan gets into the Big Ten championship game and wins it, you probably still have to be undefeated if you want to get in as the 2 seed. But yeah, Penn State, I do expect to get in at number 2. And I also expect Penn State to beat Iowa this weekend. So it does depend on that as well. If Iowa wins this weekend and they go in and potentially win the Big Ten championship, Iowa would be number 2 in this situation. But for now, I've got Penn State winning the conference, and they'll be number 2. Cincinnati, I've got them at number 4. That's going to be the big talk about this, is Cincinnati at number 4. I've got the Bearcats cracking the top 4 for the college football playoff this season. If there's any season where there's a 4-team playoff and a team in the group of 5 makes it to the college football playoff, this is the one. Cincinnati is for real. This team is very talented. We saw that against Notre Dame. They're able to handle pressure. That was their last major game to show the committee what kind of team they are, and they handled it perfectly. I don't even think Notre Dame hardly led that game. So Cincinnati looking like a very talented team. I really like them a lot right now, and I think, if they can win out, they have to win out. And if they win the American Athletic, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be in the top 4. Of course, the committee has different decisions, but I would definitely put Cincinnati in the top 4 as an undefeated American Athletic champion this year, just because they've beaten a couple of pretty solid football teams so far this season. But so yeah, Bearcats, if they win it out, they should be number 4. But Oklahoma, I've got them as the Big 12 champion, but due to their resume, and I also expect them to take a loss, or maybe even 2 in the next couple of months of action, I don't think Oklahoma makes it. If Oklahoma is undefeated and the Big 12 champion, and you got Cincinnati, who's undefeated and the American Athletic champion, I'm pretty sure the committee would put in Oklahoma over Cincinnati, just because Oklahoma's Power 5. But if Oklahoma does take a loss at some point and still wins the Big 12, and you still got Cincinnati, who's undefeated, I don't think Oklahoma cracks the top 4. But then, of course, Iowa, we talked about them a little bit earlier. I expect them to lose the Big Ten championship game. They're going to make it. They're going to win their division, but they're going to lose the Big Ten title game. So they'll finish up at number 6. We could also see Oregon potentially, the Pac-12 champion, at number 5. I mean, who knows? I think Oregon finishes out at number 7 if they win the Pac-12 with 1 loss. But if they take 2 losses and still win the conference, potentially they'll be just outside of the top 10. But anyway, with that being said, that's going to wrap it up for today. Just to give you guys my updated predictions. But I'd like to hear your thoughts and comments below on your updated predictions as we head into week 6. And I'll be doing this every week. And it'll be released on Tuesday or Wednesday from here on out. So, that being said, appreciate you guys all watching. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. I'll see you later.